Here we go.
Gameday was here. I don't know how many people were here. Getting off to a fast start is going to be extremely important so that all of these fans can get involved. And also, you mentioned the difference in coaches.
Yeah.
The one thing both coaches love is rebounding. And I know it can sound really niche, and I know I like to get into the weeds of things, but these are two of the best rebounding teams in the country. LSU, the best offensive rebounding team in the country. If they can get more looks off of offensive rebounds, or if both teams can get defensive rebounds, get out and run in transition, that's what the game could come down to.
And in the spirit of Valentine's Day, always shoot your shot. That's one thing that LSU does really well. They're the highest scoring offense in the nation, 97 points per game.
I personally will never shoot my shot. I need the shot at me.
Okay.
Period.
You'll catch it.
Okay, but these two offenses are very different, right, ladies?
Yeah, they are. You know, everyone knows South Carolina as post player U.
Yeah.
They always pass the baton from one great big to another. Yeah. And this year's is Joyce Edwards, sensational sophomore. She leads her team 20 points per game in scoring, but she's not alone. She has a partner in crime, Medina Okot, who enters the pass right here. And check out the footwork. They have good spacing. Joyce knows she can attack the baseline, but good defense here by Tennessee. Yeah, Drea, good defense by Tennessee.
Wow.
But better offense here. Nice step through. I want you guys to see this in reverse. It's beautiful. Her patience, her maturation from last year to this year. But she's also, her separator is that she's excellent as a ball handler. Look at her breaking down the Tennessee press, and then she creates an advantage. 3 Tennessee defenders are above the offense, which is a no-no. She gets the highest percentage shot to Medina Okot. And here, she's a walking double-double, coming off of a 15-rebound game. When she's this close, it's a long night for her opponent.
I'm having PTSD watching those Tennessee highlights. But, you know, this is Biggie Smalls breakdown. Let's talk about the Smalls for LSU and these LSU guards. Look how quickly Flau'jae Johnson gets the ball up the court. She's playing with pace that put pressure on the defense, but she's also patient. Nothing was there, so what does she do? She waits for the ball to come back to her. Now she's asking for the ball screen, and a quick crossover here is on the first line of defense. You got to get past the first line to read the second line. What happens? The second line of defense doesn't step up, so Flau'jae Johnson gets right into her three-point shot. It's clean, it's simple, it's a smooth read, and she knocks it down. They need that against South Carolina. But Michaela Williams, when you talk about that one-on-one game that LSU is so good at, look, 9 seconds left on the shot clock. She's got the whole side of the court to work. This is one-on-one time, and it's time to cook. The hesitation, like she's going for the left-hand layup, is just so she can get to her sweet spot at the free throw line. But what I love about this move is the shot fake sends the defense flying. Patience again to get a smooth look at the basket. So it's combining playing with pace, but also patience for these LSU guards. And the one piece that we didn't mention, the third guard in that trio, this is the elephant in the room, Milaysia Fulwiley, playing against her former team. You know, some emotions are going to be involved. You know, this crowd is going to be behind Milaysia Fulwiley, but I'm excited to watch that play out.
The one thing I want to say before we go to Holly Rowe is the fact that during that tape, Drea almost fell out of her chair. That's how passionate
excited.
she was. She's about that. But I like that you mentioned Milaysia, because Holly Rowe got to talk to both her and Dawn Staley, and she's here with us now. Holly?
Well, guys, we talk about the transfer of Milaysia Fulwiley from South Carolina to LSU, and it's not just that simple. This is a little girl who grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, watching the Gamecocks for most of her life. And when I asked Dawn Staley about it today, she said, yes, there is going to be an emotional attachment to this. You can ignore it all you want, but it will be there. But today, the pressure is all on Milaysia. Kim Mulkey said she's aware of it. So she pulled her aside on Friday and said, are you going to have butterflies in your tummy? I hope you do. When you invest in things and you care about something, that means you're going to have butterflies. And if you don't have them, I'm not going to play you. I asked Milaysia today at practice how she's feeling, and she said, I've had a great week of practice. Things are going great. I just have to remember my game and stay confident. But Coach Mulkey told me, don't try to do too much because my game does too much. But she really wants to focus on just doing her job. She said, I don't care if I have 0 or 30 points. Winning is all I care about. And her whole family drove down from South Carolina. She said, really what I care about is getting this win because it's my mom's birthday tomorrow, and I want that to be her present.
Makes sense. She's from Columbia, South Carolina. That was her home team, but now she's here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the Tigers. All right, it's time for the State Farm shot. Make some noise for Michaela Curry, everybody. She's playing for $19,000 courtesy of State Farm. It symbolizes the over 19,000 State Farm agents across the U.S. We're going to put 19 seconds on the clock. Michaela, you're going to need to make a layup, a free throw, and a three-pointer within the 19 seconds to win the $19,000. If she does not complete the challenge, she will still walk away with $1,900. How are you feeling?
A little nervous, but I'm excited.
Okay, so the moment you touch the ball is when the clock starts. You ready? Go.
You got
Here
this.
we go. You got this. You got
Yes.
this. Yeah, there we go. That's a good start.
That's
a good start.
Come on, sis.
Oh, let's go.
You got this.
One more.
Take
more
your time.
shot.
Take your time.
8, 7,
You got it. Follow
6,
through. Come on now.
5, 4,
Right for the 3. Take your
2.
time.
We believe in you.
Come on, sis.
You're kidding.
Oh!
Hey, 2 out of 3.
That was
amazing.
Good job.
That was really
That was amazing.
Good job, Michaela. And you still get $1,900, and we're all
money.
cheering for you.
Still get money, girl.
Got
Still
your
get
back.
money. Still get money.
That was awesome.
It was.
Good
It
job.
was. All right. So much more coming your way on College Game Day. We're getting closer and
You
closer.
won
to March Madness, and we've got the exclusive first reveal of the NCAA top 16 teams. Who would be hosting if the tournament started today, right now? Plus, here in Baton Rouge, we're getting you ready for tip-off and introducing you to some of the stars from LSU as they look to beat their SEC rival for the first time in a long time.
Edwards gets the steal. Michaela from downtown. Big check for Tessa.
Two of the best teams in the nation go head to head. College Game Day is covered by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Jimmy John's. Order a sandwich and make it a combo for $1 today. And DraftKings. The crown is yours.
It's showtime.
What if I get an offender bender?
State Farm's there with the assist.
Hey y'all, just wanted to say this is where I'll actually be streaming the game. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Right now I'm just streaming College Game Day. We'll see the top 16 reveal and get ready for the game. And then the game officially tips off at 7:30. So I hope all of you guys are well. I am but 20 minutes until the game starts, and I will be streaming this stream.
To the beach, y'all. Let's go. All around the world. Y'all know this is so that. To the beach, y'all.
Welcome back to College Game Day, covered by State Farm.
Welcome back to College Game Day. And Andrea, it has been an absolute scene right here in PMAC.
Yeah, the fans, they were lined up outside. They are bringing a ton of amazing energy. These LSU fans, they love their team so much. But there's one senior that they've particularly fallen in love with, right, Christine?
Yeah, that's right, Dre. It's Flau'jae Johnson, and she does it all. I don't need to list her resume for you, but I'm going to say a few things. She's a hooper. She's a champion. She raps her butt off. She's a leader both on the court and off. And I personally don't know how she has the same 24 hours in a day that you and I do, but here's a peek at a day in her life.
Is it recording? Oh, yeah, it is.
Y'all, I'm tired today. But I'm definitely going to attack the day. I have film.
Thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
I've never seen somebody her age that wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning. And she's either working on her rap.
No, I got that dog inside my bones. I got that pedigree in. That's the tape.
Or she's in the gym with a trainer. She wins SEC Freshman of the Year.
That freshman right there, Flau'jae Johnson, man, is she smooth.
She wins a national championship as a freshman. She could have stopped and said, well, I'm content. But that's not her mindset.
I'm a businessman. I have to work on my clothing line. Oh, I got to get it together.
You're juggling so many different things. How do you keep basketball such a big priority and focal point for you?
Oh, no. So this is what people fail to recognize. Like, I'm not no fool. Basketball paying the bills right now. I don't have a number one hit yet. So my life revolves around basketball.
Bob! Morning, Flau'jae. Every morning, she comes in and watches film. I mean, she's really became a student of the game. Create space, good shot. It's a good possession. That's a growth possession, right?
Yep. Patience. I focus on being present. I'm always where my feet are. And this is the first time where I'm like the oldest player on the team. Everything's on me. My energy controls how practice goes. My energy controls how games goes.
Flau'jae to the rack!
You could have left last year. You could have gone to the WNBA. Why was it important for you to come back?
I didn't want to go out on the loss when I didn't have to. I feel like I had more to prove. Why not try to go out as a champion? But I feel like I owe it to LSU. I owe it to Baton Rouge. I'm loyal to the Soilers.
Flau'jae Johnson represents the best of women's basketball. She is multi-talented, multi-hyphenate, and she's just honestly a pro on many levels. I spoke to some WNBA GMs, and they said she's excellent as a 3-and-D player. She thrives in transition, and I just believe she always keeps the main thing, which is getting buckets on the floor.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned WNBA GMs. There were WNBA scouts in the building at shoot-around. This is a huge opportunity for Flau'jae. You have potential WNBA prospects on the other side. You've got Flau'jae on this side, so this is a big game.
The other thing that really impresses me about Flau'jae is her work ethic and how many things that she has to do. She's in the gym early, and with that, it's time for Win and Watch presented by Principal. The late mid-season top 20 watch list was released earlier this week. Milaysia Fulwiley, Flau'jae Johnson, and Michaela Williams are all on that list. The Tigers are the only team with 3 players on the list. So let's welcome in one of them as she gets ready for her match against South Carolina. That is the one, the only, Michaela Williams. Michaela, can you hear us? Oh, there she is. There she is.
There she is.
Oh, here
Okay.
she is. She's
okay. I thought she was going to be warming up. She's
Hey,
up here.
fam.
You're coming now.
Oh, near
okay.
Okay. Hey.
No, I'm not.
She just
here.
wanted
You
to
didn't
give
get
us
to see
a
her, but she did just walk by the desk. We'll be talking to her in just a little bit. But why is she so impressive?
Yeah, I mean, Michaela Williams, when you talk about a player that, one, can score at all three levels, but her mid-range game, to me, is so deadly and so crucial. Her ability to get into her own shot, get her shot off the dribble. She has to play aggressive. It sets the tone for LSU offensively.
And also, she's a big gamer against AP top 5 teams.
Yeah.
She thrives, gets 20 points per game. I'm telling y'all, good players have go-to moves, great players have counter moves.
Yeah.
She's got pro-level counter moves.
All right. I think she can hear us now. Michaela, hello. Good to see you. I
How
know
are y'all?
we talked a little bit just a second ago. I want to talk about this matchup. Both you and Coach Mulkey talked about how well you guys played against Auburn after that loss to Texas. What was working so well for you that night that you hope to carry over into tonight?
I think the main thing for us was just being really disciplined and working together. I think in that loss, we took a lot of bad shots and we didn't play together as a team. But I think going into this one in Auburn, we were really focused on playing as a team and reversing the basketball.
You know, Michaela, you all have grown as a team throughout the season. You've also grown throughout your career. You're putting up career high numbers when it comes to efficiency. Where do you think you've grown the most in your game?
I think for me, the biggest thing is definitely defense and then becoming a leader, really going into the leader spot that Coach Mulkey wanted me to be in. And that's something I really took in the heart and really tried to do. And it's just following along with my work ethic.
And your team follows suit as well. Michaela, what makes playing with this backcourt so special?
They're so fun to play with. You never know what they're going to do. And they're extremely good people on and off the court.
We were talking to Kim Mulkey earlier today, Michaela, and she told us that she just loves this team. How would you describe the chemistry and how close you are as a group?
Man, she's like my best friend. My sisters, I see them every day, all day. So I really don't have a choice, but I love them. And this is one of my favorite teams that I've ever been on.
I love to hear that. And you know what's kind of cool? You talk about the love. It is Valentine's Day, but you guys are some dogs out there. You know how to flip the switch. Your team has the highest scoring offense in the nation. What helps keep your team in attack mode?
I think that's just us playing basketball, and that's the people that we are. We love to play basketball, and we love to get buckets, so that's what we do.
Period.
Okay, I want to ask you something because I like to stalk people on Instagram, look in their bios. I noticed that you are a Delta. We were just talking about how Flau'jae does it all. You also do it all. You had to pledge. I know you guys do a lot in the community. How do you balance everything that you do as a student athlete?
I think Delta Simulator is just something that really was something that I really wanted to do on top of them doing community service, and that's something that I'm really involved in. So it was right up my alley. My life sisters are actually here today. Oh,
I love that.
We got to find.
I love that. My mom is also one of your sisters, just so you know. She's a soror of yours.
Oh, we'll tell her I said hey, soror.
I will. Thank you so much, Michaela. Good luck tonight against South Carolina.
Good luck, Thank you.
All right, so Michaela and LSU hoping to be playing in 7 weeks because that will be the eve of the national title game with 2 teams left standing in Phoenix. Now, prior to that, Sacramento, California, and Fort Worth, Texas will host the 2 regionals. The semis will be April 3rd on ESPN, and the champ will be crowned on the 5th on ABC. And now it is time for the first look at the NCAA Tournament Committee's top 16 teams. We're going to start, ladies, with number 16. Make it a little dramatic.
Okay. Oh,
that is the Oklahoma Sooners. Ole Miss is at 15 and would be a top 4 seed for the first time since 1992. Michigan State checks in at 14th, 9-4 in quad 1 and 2 games this season. And Maryland comes
if y'all
in
know
at
Coach
13.
Joe has been
Dre,
wanting
look
to
at this.
host
What
for a
stands out?
long
Well, my
time.
eyes are on this Oklahoma team. You know, being that 4 seed, getting an opportunity to host. Obviously, a lot of games left to be played. There might be some teams that are upset about this. Maybe Baylor, West Virginia, Texas Tech. However, Oklahoma, they don't have any bad losses. And really the separator is their overtime win against South Carolina. When you have a win against the Gamecocks, it is a difference maker to the committee. The Gamecocks have been the standard, same thing with UConn. How Oklahoma played in that game, I think, made the difference.
All right, let's go to the next batch at number 12, TCU, who will be a top 4 seed for the 2nd straight year. Iowa is 11th after playing the 5th toughest strength of schedule so far. Red Hot Duke is 10th and riding a 15-game win streak. And to round out the 3 seeds, Ohio State, who was 8-3 in quad 1 and 2 games. Today, your thoughts on these?
I have my eye actually on TCU, especially coming into the season with momentum, building upon the success from last year in the tournament. There's a little bit of a temperature test going on. They've lost 2 of their last 4 games, and sometimes struggle to get outside of Olivia Miles, Jonathan Hunter, Marta Smars, but this is still a team that can light it up. They have walking triple doubles on their roster, so if they bounce back, they can make their way up.
All right, and now for the 2 seeds, LSU is number 8 with 5 quad 1 wins. At number 7 is Louisville, who was 23-4 with 7 quad 1 wins. At number 6, we see Michigan. They played the 8th toughest schedule.
Oh, nah.
So we're leaving the final
They
2 seed as either Texas or Vandy. But when you look at these 3, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm interested in all 3 of these teams and how they finish out their seasons, but in particular Louisville. Today we were there at the beginning of the season when they faced off against UConn. If it wasn't for that first quarter, the other 3 quarters, like I said, Connecticut is a measuring stick. This Louisville team has a ton of pieces. I give a lot of credit to Laura Ziegler, who came in the transfer portal. She is a stretch big, and she has been so impactful leadership-wise for this Louisville team. Jeff Walls has taken teams to the Final Four on multiple occasions. He knows what he's doing. I'm interested in how they finish. Tatiana Roberts can get into her bag and score at will. I'm interested to see how they finish down the stretch.
Okay, so I mentioned Texas and Vanderbilt. Let's take a deeper look at these 2 teams. Texas has a better net ranking, tougher strength of schedule by a significant margin, and more quad 1 wins, with the 2 met on Thursday in Nashville, and Vandy led by as many as 26 points, winning by 16 in convincing fashion. So that's the head-to-head. As we show you now, who's coming in at number 5, the final 2 seed. That's Texas.
Oh, wow.
Andrea, your thoughts?
Immediately you see the impact of the head-to-head game.
Yes.
And that head-to-head game, it just happened on Thursday.
Right.
It is very recent in the committee's mind. They just gave us this top 16 reveal because, with complete honesty, Texas has the better resume. Texas had more ranked wins. They had 5 ranked wins before Vanderbilt even played a ranked opponent. So resume-wise, you look at what Texas has been able to do, but the way Texas played at Vanderbilt and the way Vanderbilt truly dominated that game is clearly the separator.
Yeah, the big thing here is head-to-head and also recency, especially in a conference with multiple changes coming. Keep note of those 2 factors.
All right, so that leaves Vanderbilt, South Carolina, UCLA, and of course the top overall seed in the initial rankings is UConn, the only Division I team without a loss this season. So when you look at these top 3 teams specifically, UConn, UCLA, and South Carolina, it feels like they kind of run away with that. But who do you guys think? We were just talking about the difference between Vandy and Texas. Who do you guys think is the number 4 team in the country?
So breaking this down, if we can keep this graphic up, everyone knows UConn right now is Teflon. You're not going to mess with what they got going on. UCLA is handling their business. South Carolina and the battle-tested SEC makes sense, right? This will be a good measuring test, a litmus test for them. 4 is fascinating, especially with the head-to-head. This is the year of the Commodores. This is the year of Michaela Blake. We all know how she came onto the scene. Top 25 when it comes to, not top 25, averaging 25 points per game, picking up where she left off. This is a squad that has improved through the transfer portal. Very confident. That 4 spot to me is going to be interesting because I feel like of the 3, they are the question mark, that last slot.
That's really the spot to watch. I feel very confident about the other 3 number 1 seeds. Now, I think UConn is locked in that number 1 spot. Whether UCLA or South Carolina, whether they kind of move around in that 2 spot or that 3 spot, that 4 spot to me is up for grabs. I've been so impressed by Shea Ralph. I mean, you know the tenure she had at UConn, the championship she won, being next to Gino Ariema. So she knows what greatness looks like. She knows what it should feel like on both ends of the floor. How her team executes. They've got length. They have 3-point shooting. You mentioned Michaela Blake's. That's a team to me, though, still, that spot could swap. When you talk about the SEC tournament, how many times these teams are going to see each other? Texas could have another opportunity at Vanderbilt in the tournament.
Yeah, we were just at Texas, and that was a team, it honestly looked like it was not their night. They got down early. They tried to fight their way back. And honestly, they've improved from last year to this year when it comes to perimeter shooting. But I do believe in the SEC, they'll have more tests than ever before. Y'all, the tournament is going to be wild.
We talked a little bit to the NCAA tournament committee about the difference between these 2 teams. And one of the things I asked them is whether or not that game was closer, if that game was closer, whether or not that would have affected the rankings. And they said they're not sure. But I have to wonder if that game, if Vandy didn't run away with it, if it would have been different.
Yeah, I think at one point Vanderbilt had a 26-point lead. So the way, sometimes it's not, it's being competitive in losses. That is an actual criteria that the committee looks like. Are you competitive in losses? So I do think that played into it.
To me, strength of schedule matters. Matters a lot. So I understand 1 major win, but Vandy will have to prove that they've earned this 4 spot for the rest of the season.
And they got a
They have a tough SEC. I was going to say they have a tough road to go. All right, let's take a look at our matchup preview presented by DraftKings as we look at a huge Sunday in women's hoops. What an awesome women's basketball slate tomorrow on ABC. Number 11 Duke hosts number 21 North Carolina at 1 Eastern, then 4th ranked Texas take on number 22 Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee. Live on ABC and available on the ESPN app. What are you guys looking at in this?
So are you feeling better about your Tennessee Lady Vols?
Nope.
Because I know they had the horrible loss, 43, but they bounced back versus Missouri.
No.
Now Texas is coming back off the loss. It'll be interesting to see where they are.
It is interesting to see how Tennessee responds. You can talk about the win against Missouri, and that's fine. Missouri has a ton of injuries. I'm not taking that. That's fine. Beating the teams that you're supposed to beat, that doesn't mean as much to me as how they look in losses. We just talked about competitive in losses. Yeah. In Tennessee's losses, they have not looked competitive. They haven't looked like they've had fight or effort. So I'm very interested in the Texas-Tennessee matchup to see how Tennessee gets into that one.
Yeah, Dre's been sick. All right, we got some breaking news right here on College Game Day. Ladies, next week, we are going to Columbia, South Carolina to watch another top 25.
All right, y'all. I am ending this stream and I'm going to my main screen to start the game. So go Tigers. Here we go.